a video about me over catering. So I did a function. It was hot beef sandwiches, and particularly where I'm from in the UK, people want hot beef sandwiches and they want them with onions in vinegar. So I did some onions in vinegar. I've done too many. All you basically do is just slice some white onions, peel them, slice them, and then put them in malt vinegar just for a few hours or a couple of days, whatever, and it just lightly pickles them. And people like this with hot beef sandwiches. At this function, people didn't particularly want the onions, so I'm left with all those onions in vinegar and thinking what I might do with them. Let's give them a taste. Just like pickled onions. Now, my first thought was to drain off the vinegar and reduce it, and then we'd use that in some kind of pickle at some point in the future. I just throw the onions away. But then I was thinking, I make my own brown sauce, which is not really a brown sauce as such. It's more of onions cooked down in vinegar and then anything else I've got kicking around, putting into it, and we get like a brown sauce, which is, this one will be a couple months old now, and it's really nice. It's really nice. So I was thinking, can we cook those onions so they become like soft and like an onion puree? We'll cook them in the actual vinegar, and then can we puree it down, and then we'll go around the house and we'll kind of see what we've got. Well, we won't go around the house. I don't keep jars of food anywhere other than the kitchen and in the utility room. But we'll look in the kitchen and the utility room, we'll kind of see what else we've got, and then we'll see if we can make some like a brown sauce out of it. And then I kind of thought, after Christmas, you've generally got lots of things left over. So you've got this habit of buying pickled onions and pickled beetroot, and you've got a bit of cranberry sauce, and you've got a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of the other. So I was kind of thinking, if these cook down and go soft, then we could actually take the things that we've got left over after Christmas. Well, I haven't got those things left over after Christmas because we're in October at the moment. So let's pretend that it's after Christmas and we've got things left over. So we've got a bit of pickled beetroot, which I made myself. I'm not going to eat that. I was just a little bit of an experiment. So that's pickled beetroot in jelly. So that can go in. And then you kind of think, well, you probably have a bit of red currant jelly, so maybe we'll put some red currant jelly in. We certainly will have some cranberry left over from Christmas Day, because you don't eat it the rest of the year. So we could kind of put some cranberry in it as well and make like a fruity brown sauce. And then it'll probably need it. So I'll kind of look around, and we've got a bit of jaggery left over as well. So we could sweeten it up with some jaggery, and then I'm sure I've got a bit of pomegranate molasses somewhere, and we'll have some other things. But anyway, let's cook those down and see if they go soft. I'm not going to cook them all because that would be a waste of gas. We'll just cook a handful or so and see if they kind of go soft first. So these have been cooking, and they have definitely softened. Yeah, I think we'll definitely be able to puree those and put them through a sieve so it'll make a nice fine puree. I did think that they wouldn't cook down, but they're certainly softened. We might get an excessive amount of debris that won't pass through the sieve, but we'll certainly be able to get something out of them. So we'll cook the rest of those down, and then I think what I'll do is I'll puree it and then add the other things to it, because otherwise I'll be pureeing and sieving more things than I actually want to. Certainly going to have to sieve it because I want a smooth consistency. And yeah, it's getting a bit late now. I'll probably cook them tonight, and then we'll puree it tomorrow. I think that's what we'll do. Yeah. So I've cooked it all down, but it's not wanting to go through the sieve. I think the pickling process has toughened up the onions too much so they won't pass through a sieve. So we've got a little bit's kind of coming through, but not enough, and it's never going to be like a smooth puree. So that's a bit of a failed experiment. My plan has not worked. So, but I won't waste the vinegar. I'll be able to use that in some kind of other pickle at some point. So I will strain off all the vinegar, throw away the onions, and then we'll reduce the vinegar down so it's got more of it's back up to its proper acidic level, and then I'll use it in a pickle somewhere down the line. It's a bit of a shame that didn't work, but not to worry. If we don't try, we never find out, do we? We never find out. But it's just, I haven't got anything that would puree that smooth enough or fine enough, unfortunately. There was I remember having this heated discussion with my father about those. You used to be able to buy those NutriBullets, which they just turned everything into liquid, and I just didn't believe it, because I've tried to liquidize enough celery soup in my lifetime, knowing full, and I've never been able. Nothing ever pulverizes celery to bits. So the idea of these NutriBullets being able to pulverize something like raw celery into a smooth puree was just utterly rubbish. But anyway, I'm not going to buy a NutriBullet. But anyway, so bit of a failed experiment. Not to worry, but we have to try these things or we never find out. So failure.